Imagine saying goodbye to your child as they leave for school, expecting to see them again that afternoon, but they never come home. That is exactly what happened on June 10th, 1991. In 1990, 11-year-old Jaycee Lee Dugard moved with her family from Garden Grove to South Lake Tahoe. It was a quiet suburban area, considered ideal for a young family. However, less than a year later, a horrific crime took place there. On June 10th, 1991, Jaycee Lee Dugard, as usual, walked from her home to the bus stop where she was supposed to catch the school bus. She was walking along the road, lost in thought, while her stepfather watched her from a distance. After some time, a grey sedan pulled up beside her. A man was driving. He opened the window and pretended to ask for directions. Seconds later, he reached out and stunned Dugard with a stun gun. Immediately after, a woman got out of the car and forced the child into the passenger seat. The grey sedan disappeared around the corner, and no one managed to note its license plate number. The case quickly gained national attention. Within hours, media outlets were reporting on it across the country. The kidnapping was featured on several episodes of the popular show. Jaycee's mother, Terry Probin, created a search group called Jaycee's Hope and offered a reward for any information. Dozens of volunteers joined the search, and posters with Jaycee's photo were posted throughout the city. At first, investigators suspected Jaycee's biological father and stepfather, but both were cleared after passing lie detector tests. In April 1992, a man reported seeing a girl matching Jaycee's description inside a yellow van at a gas station, nearly 300 kilometers from her home, but he could not identify the license plate. Police went to the location but did not even check the parking area. The tip was never properly verified, though it was later confirmed that it really was Jaycee. In 2002, emergency services received a report that a teenage girl had dislocated her shoulder in the backyard pool of a 51-year-old man, Philip Garrido. Although he had previously been convicted of a and was prohibited from contact with minors, the information was not passed to the police. In 2006, a neighbor of Garrido called authorities, reporting that tents had been set up in his backyard where children were living. He described the owner as a sexually disturbed psychopath. A police officer visited the house, spoke with Garrido for about half an hour, but never entered the property or checked the backyard. Garrido received only a warning. On August 24, 2009, Philip Garrido arrived at a police station with two teenage girls, aged 12 and 15. He was trying to get permission to hold a Christian event at a university. Officers told him to return the next day, but they noticed his erratic behavior and the girls' withdrawn appearance, so they checked his background. They discovered that Garrido had previously been sentenced to 50 years for a He was released on parole after 11 years and was prohibited from contact with minors. A psychiatric evaluation had diagnosed him as a sexual deviant and chronic drug user. The next day, Garrido returned with the girls again. Officers then informed him he had violated parole conditions. They planned to inspect his residence. Inside the house were Garrido's legal wife Nancy and his elderly mother, who suffered from dementia. They provided identification and answered questions. Nothing seemed suspicious. When asked about the girls, Garrido said they were relatives' children. Police accepted the explanation and left. On August 26th, Garrido arrived at the supervision office with his wife Nancy, the two teenage girls, and Jaycee Lee Dugard, who introduced herself as Alyssa. During questioning, Alyssa claimed she was the mother of the two girls and described Garrido as a changed and good man. She also said she was 29 years old, joking that people often thought she was younger. Garrido gave inconsistent statements in another room, claiming the girls were relatives. Eventually, suspicion grew. When Alyssa was asked for documents, she became nervous and defensive. Soon, she changed her story again, claiming she had escaped an abusive husband and that Garrido had taken her in. In the next room, Philip Garrido confessed to the kidnapping and of Jaycee Lee Dugard. He also admitted that the two teenage girls were his daughters with Jaycee. Immediately after being abducted at age 11, Jaycee was by Philip Garrido. For years, she suffered continuous list violence. He often chained her inside a small room and later kept her in tents in a fenced backyard area. In 1994, at age 14, Jaycee gave birth to her first daughter. In 1997, she gave birth to a second. Garrido created a false story that Jaycee was the older sister of the children. His wife Nancy helped maintain this illusion and played a controlling role in keeping Jaycee isolated. Jaycee later said her children became her emotional support during captivity. She tried to survive by gardening, caring for them, and teaching them herself. After the arrest, some suggested Jaycee may have experienced Stockholm Syndrome, forming emotional attachment to her captor. Jaycee herself denied this interpretation. In 2011, Philip and Nancy Garrido pleaded guilty. Philip was sentenced to 431 years to life in prison, and Nancy received 36 years to life with parole eligibility in 2029. The state of California later paid Jaycee $20 million in compensation for failures in supervision. She also wrote a memoir about her life after captivity. Together with her parents, she founded a charity supporting families who have experienced trauma.